So you'll see. Good afternoon. Andrea Lane with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate. It's always a mouthful to say all of that. Yeah. Like, even when you say BHHS, it's like a high school cheer. And this is 30 Minutes with a Realtor. I'm sitting down today with Michael Severe, a longtime friend and radio pal and media person, and we hit all the boxes. But you're a foodie, and that's what I brought you in today. Mm-hmm. And I just love seeing some of the pictures that you post on Facebook of places you go eat, and you also, because you come from New Orleans and
a very
all
foodie
that
area,
food right there.
Yeah. We just went to New Orleans after Christmas. The sad thing is that almost everywhere was closed.
Oh, really?
People were taking the week off after Christmas to New Year's, and then they were closing a lot of the dining rooms because of COVID, and it was all of our favorite places. We'd show up and like, oh no, it's closed. So it made it very difficult. But yeah, I do enjoy eating way too much. There's no doubt.
What would you say is your favorite type of food? Like, if you're like, it's the last week on earth and this is what I can eat, what is it?
If it's my last dish, it'd be bibimbap. I love Korean food, and bibimbap is my favorite food of the Korean food. And so, like, if I had to get one thing, it'd be a bowl of that, a nice fried egg on top, Wong's, which is off of 108th and L Street. I would definitely go there. That's what I would go and get.
Okay.
Yeah, that one dish. It's just, I love it. It's like it's a rice, and it's put inside this clay pot.
Right.
So it kind of burns on the outside, and then it's got these different veggies in there, and then it's usually got like a pork, or it can be chicken, but it's usually pork. And then they have some other seasonings on top of it, and then they put a fried egg on top of it, and you mix it all together. You put a little sriracha in there, and I just love it.
I didn't think there was any places in town doing it still.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Bibimbap so Wong's is amazing because it's really a Chinese food place, but it's got a backside hidden Korean menu.
Okay.
And so if you go there...
Hunan Garden, right?
Huh?
Wong's Hunan Garden?
Yeah, around 108th. Yep. And so everybody goes there thinking it's just Chinese food.
No.
But like all of the Korean folks in town go there to get their Korean food. And it's funny, when you go there, you'll see people who work at other Chinese food places there at that. It's weird. There's a guy who runs... I think it's Hunan, whatever the Chinese food place is off of Saddle Creek. I've seen him in there before, getting Korean food. So,
hey, but that means you know it's good. So that's
exactly. You see other chefs in there. That's right.
Well, yeah. So that was always the Chinese takeout place when I worked at Star 104 because it was right there on.
Right off the corner.
So it was right up the street, and you could always find somebody that would go through the drive-through, pick it up, and bring it back to the stations for everybody. So
that's a good little stretch of food now because Tire Texan is there at the end of the block. Right before the interstate.
Haven't been there yet.
And you come, and they're we were going to go there yesterday. I was going to have lunch with a former coworker, and they're closed on Tuesdays. I know, random Tuesdays, right? So we couldn't go there. We ended up going someplace else. But you have that. You have Wong's, which is, again, one of my favorite Vietnamese places. And you got a couple other little joints. And that's one of the last little kings that still do French bread, too. Because it's extra for French bread. And they have to bake it a different way. I love French bread. I like the soft bread. And so that's a little king that I'll go out there, too, occasionally. Because their sandwiches I like on French bread.
So let's talk our top 10 list of like here's where we would go.
So I put together a lot of stuff. So
I feel like Wong's maybe needs to be on our list here.
The question is like, do you want to go by just in general 10 places, or are we talking about area of town? Are we talking type of food?
How about I'm in town for a week and I need a place to eat. Give me that 10, like, if you're going to only be here a short period of time, like, here's what I'm going.
I'm going to start off with my favorite hidden gem.
Okay.
And it's Finicky Frank's.
Finicky Frank's?
Finicky Frank's is off of 680.
How am I going to spell this wrong?
To Florence. Finicky.
Oh, Finicky.
Finicky, yeah.
Frank's.
Yep. And literally.
Where is it?
So it's off of 680 and Calhoun. It's on the other side of Florence. Yep. Okay. And this woman, the chef there, Kisa, she had the Center Street Cafe back in the day, 36, right? And she's a great story. She became a chef because she got pregnant. She was at home on maternity leave. She was working in the business world. And she was like, why are we paying for all this stuff I can make at home, like mayonnaise and other things? She started making a bunch of stuff. She'd always kind of cooked. She's like, well, I really enjoy it. So she kind of threw herself into cooking. She opened the Center Street Cafe. And then she ended up moving out there off the 680 to what used to be Mother's out there. And most creative place. She has just her basics. She has the best crab cakes in town, not even close.
Oh, wow.
And then she does specials every day. Her Saturday night fried chicken, it's called family fried chicken. So you get a full chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn, period. That's what you get. So between the two of you, you can just knock it out. She's got like a walleye dinner, just incredible. And then sitting down and talking food with her is fascinating because she is always thinking of new things. For example, she accidentally once smoked meatloaf, and now that's a regular thing on their menu. Because she was going to make ribs, and the meat shipment didn't come in.
Okay.
So she'd already started the smoker, and she's like, she had this meatloaf, and she's like, I'll just put the meatloaf in there. And now smoked meatloaf is a regular thing on their menu.
Oh,
so yeah, so she's
Happy
great.
accident.
She's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a wonderful person and a great chef. And bust her ass. She's the chef. She's sometimes the front door person. It's her husband, and like one more person. But that's a great place to go.
I like it as a home cook.
It's only open for dinner now.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be lunch and dinner. Now it's only dinner. Okay. What did I do? What else? Let me think of another one so I can get 10. All right. So if you're going to go to Blackstone,
okay,
which is kind of a newer area,
yeah,
I'm going to give you a new place that hasn't been open that long. It's been a couple different things in that area for a long time, but it's Lucky Tiger. Lucky Tiger is located where the Dante, which is way out west, 171st and Center. The owner of it, Nick Strawhecker, opened a Dante in Blackstone.
Okay.
And it was right when COVID started and things weren't going great. So he ended up closing that. He changed it actually to a different place, trying to redo it. It just didn't work. So he ended up selling it to these folks who opened Lucky Tiger. And it is a very creative sushi ramen place. And every time we go in there, and they all have a huge menu, but every time I go in there, I try something different, and every time it's really good. And they use the old oven that Dante used. They have something called not Lamborghini. It's one of those fast cars. That's the name of the oven. It's a giant red oven. It cooks at like 800 degrees.
Oh, wow. And
they use that to make a lot of stuff. So it's great. It's new. I think it's been open less than a year.
I was going to say, because I don't even remember seeing it yet.
There's only one or two places that do this. They do a Peking duck, a crispy duck.
Yummy.
Which is what my mother loves. And so for her 85th birthday when she was in town, we took her to get crispy duck from there. And she was so excited because a lot of places don't have crispy duck anymore.
Right.
So we went there and they make it in that oven. It's delicious. So it's kind of a new place in Blackstone. Sticking in Blackstone, the Switch. You been to the Switch yet? It's a food hall.
So like it's a multiple vendors.
Yes, it's kind of like the Inner Rail, which is over at in Exarban. This one's in Blackstone. It's called Switch. Inside of Switch, there's a place called El Arapon. Let me give you the spelling for it. It's Venezuelan. Arapon.
Arapon.
It's Venezuelan food.
Interesting.
Which you don't get a lot of.
Right, I was going to say.
But the main reason you go there is one of my favorite dishes in the world is empanadas.
Oh, yes.
I love empanada. I'm an empanada freak. Like wherever we go, if there's empanada, two things.
You have to try
if there's empanadas or if there is calamari. Two things I always order if there's on the menu.
Calamari is a good one for me. So empanadas in Belize was a big thing too.
Yes. So like I have one of my best friends, a girl actually I dated like back in high school. We're still friends. She was a different high school. I went to Ball Boy High School. But anyway, she went to Belize, and her dad, who was on the trip with them, stepped on one of those rockfish the first day, and he was in the hospital for like the whole trip.
Oh my god!
But she did talk about the empanadas. She knows I love them. So their empanadas are incredible. Just go there for that. There's a lot of stuff inside of Switch. There's a fried chicken place, but the Venezuelan empanadas, go there, try them. They're incredible.
Okay.
They're the best ones I've ever had in Nebraska.
Okay.
There's a empanada place in Philly, in Newtown, that you ever watch Sunny Side of Philadelphia?
Yeah.
That show? Everything Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yep.
The place they use, that bar for their shots, is actually a real restaurant that makes 5-star empanadas. Lobster cream cheese empanadas. They're incredible.
That sounds so yummy.
So I love that place. So that's good.
Like a lobster rangoon empanada.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. And they do a homemade pulled pork one. This is the one, not Arapon. This is the place in Philly. Yeah, but I love those, and so I put that place down there. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have? So there's two places in town that do chef menus.
Okay.
Right.
What do you mean by a chef menu?
So a chef menu it's 5, 6, or 7 courses, and it's different every day. Whatever the chef's going to make that day, and you pay a flat fee. So one of the places is au courant. So that's AU, second word, COURANT.
COUR.
Courant. Yes.
Okay.
So au courant is
that's
in Benson.
Okay.
61st and Maple, I believe, or right before military.
Gotcha.
The chef there, Ben Maids, is great, and he does a $75. I think it's 6 courses, and it changes every day. You walk in there, it's up on the board, and you just order the chef plate. No, and I believe they have a deal with the wine pairings too. Now, I don't drink, so I don't know that for a fact, but I know they have a wine pairing thing too. So you go there and you just say, I want the chef plate. You pay the one flat fee, and you get served a great dish. There's another place in town that does the same thing.
Okay.
Which is called Dolce.
Oh, yeah.
DOLCE, which is 124th and Maple.
Yeah,
right?
Been in there.
Their chef.
Friend was a chef there, actually.
He is funny because he's not friendly. Like, right? I mean, like, he's the grumpy guy. If they were going to take this chef and make like a sitcom, and he would be the sitcom chef.
He's like the soup Nazi?
Yeah, a little bit. And so but he's great. I went there for my 50th birthday. I had this thing where I was trying to get to 190 pounds by my 50th birthday. And I was on this crazy diet, and I got to 191, right? But I went there for my dinner. And he's great. In terms of his cooking, and he does these really creative things. For that dinner, he had gotten a Wagyu steer, or cattle, or however you say it. I was not in 4-H. I grew up in a city. Anyway, so he got this Wagyu beef, and then he dry aged it for like 3 months. And then he made all these dishes. And I believe that we had a 5-course or 6-course meal. And it was over $100, but it was incredible. It was just so delicious. Everything was perfect. It was wonderful. And he'll do that. He'll go out and he'll get some sort of meat, and he'll do for like 2 or 3 weeks, he'll do this thing with it. And he was doing that Wagyu beef for that one that we did. But again, chef plates, chef menu, I think that's a great thing to do. And that's what has changed the most in the last 20 years here in Omaha, is all these chef-driven restaurants.
But I like that.
Yeah, it's great.
Because you don't know what you're getting, because that's always the debate at our house. We're like, what do you feel like for dinner? Like, right. I don't know. What do you feel like for dinner? And then it goes back and forth for like 20 minutes. At least if you go to some place that's a chef menu, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Just go.
Yeah. And that's what the food halls are great for, too. The food hall, you all go there, and there's 3 essential food halls here. You have their Inner Rail, which is at Zarbin. You have Blackstone, the Switch, and then you have inside the mall, that Flagstone. Yeah, you go there, and they've got, everybody can choose.
We went to a place in Orlando that was like that. It was an old train depot.
Oh, okay.
And inside there was like a coffee shop, there was a seafood place,
right.
There was a brick oven pizza place, there was a sandwich place, and a bar at the very end. And I loved it because there was something for everybody. Everybody found what they wanted.
Perfect.
And then went outside and ate.
Yeah. So you brought up Railcar, or talking about the rail station. Let's put Timber and Railcar on there together.
Okay.
So Timber Wood Fire Bistro is off of Pacific at 86th Street. It's basically across the street.
Wait, Timber what?
Timber Wood Fire Bistro.
Timber Wood Fire.
Yeah. This is another example of a chef in Jared Clark who came back to Omaha after he left and went to Chicago to work on his craft, and opened 2 new restaurants. He opened Timber Wood Fire Bistro, but first it was Railcar Modern American Kitchen, which is at
120th and Blondo.
Blondo, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So he's on my list for one of the best brunch places.
Well, because he used to work at the Neon Goose, didn't he?
I don't know. He worked at, I remember my history I did an interview with him for an hour once. I thought he worked at Grey Plume for some reason in my head, but he may have. He was a young chef, decided to move to Chicago, worked with some people there, had a great mentor working at a restaurant, and then came back here and opened Railcar.
Okay.
And Railcar was open for 3 or 4 years before he opened Timber Wood Fire Bistro. But Timber is on my list for best brunches. It's on my list for the most unique pizza in town. It's a wood fire pizza, and it's a thin crust, but it's crunchier. It's a really interesting pizza that he makes.
Almost like Laszlo's Oh my gosh, why can't I think of what it's called? Not a falafel, but like
it's
almost like
lavash.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a little bit like that, but not as crackery.
Okay.
But that's really good too.
More doughy.
Those two places, either one of them, you go for brunch, you're gonna love it. They have great brunches there. Plus, they have great dinner too. So those are just two places. Jared Clark is the chef, like I said, at both those places, and he does a great job. So they'll definitely be on my list if you had to go to one place. And holidays, they do the best holiday menus. So like if it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, Valentine's, they'll have specials, and he'll put together a 5-course menu.
Oh, nice.
As part of it, and they're always delicious.
So this might be one, especially like when you're like 30 days out from a Valentine's to get your reservation in, because otherwise you won't have it.
You won't be able to. Yep. Let's do sushi. There's 2 sushi places in town. I think you have
I'm really curious because there's so many. So
there are. The best sushi place in town is Yoshitomo in Benson.
Okay.
Yoshitomo.
You're gonna spell? Is it?
I can spell it for you.
Yoshi, like Yoshi the.
Yeah, like the little guy. It's YOSHITOMO.
You said Benson?
It's in Benson, yes.
Some nice little places in Benson now.
Another chef place, right? Okay. A guy who has been everywhere, done everything, and worked at a bunch of places here, worked at Blue and some other places, and decided to open his own joint. And it's the most creative sushi place I've ever been to outside of San Francisco. It's just ridiculous. He's got a thing. He's got a butter steak little thing that it's on top of rice.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's $12 for 2 pieces, but you can't have just the 2. You're like, it's just so incredible.
Ooh.
It's marinated. It's like a Wagyu beef that's been marinated, and then he flames it with a blowtorch to cook it.
Right.
And it comes hot to your table. It's incredible. But everything. They also have omakases there.
What is that?
Omakase is when you pay $125, $150, whatever. You and somebody else go, and then it's just you and like 4 or 5 people and the chef. And he just makes you individual pieces of sushi.
Oh, wow.
And usually it's like 20 to 25 pieces, along with some stuff in between and maybe a cocktail.
That's totally worth the money you spent.
Oh, it is. We did it for Valentine's Day. This is back when he was located inside of Benson still, but not there. He was working out of Ugly Duck.
Okay.
He was working. It was Midtown Crossing. He was working out of Ugly Duck at the time, and he was doing these nighttime omakases. Yeah, they're incredible. If you find one and you're looking for a special occasion, it's because then he explains to you why this fish is this way, or why this is done this way, or what this is fed. It's incredible to have that. That's fun.
No, absolutely.
So Yoshitomo, and then Umami in Bellevue.
Yeah, so I keep hearing about this place.
So this guy
in Bellevue, I'm from Bellevue, so you think I'd get down there and go?
Yeah.
Okay.
This chef was a 5-star sushi chef in New York City.
Umami.
Right? And he was thinking, I'd love to open up my own restaurant someplace outside of New York. I want to go someplace else. So he actually researched it and realized that one of the best places to open a restaurant is near a military base, because you have all these people coming in, not just from America, but all over the world,
Right.
So he said Bellevue was a good choice. And so it's kind of in a strip. It's not a strip mall, but it's like it used to be a Pizza Hut or something.
Yeah, it was. It was, I think.
Or maybe a Pizza Hut.
No, it was like a Taco Bell or something.
Something like that.
It was one of the old fast food places that bombed out there.
Right.
And he took over the building. Yeah. And I've heard, a ton of people just rave about it.
Cheaper than Yoshitomo, but the quality is incredible. And their little side dishes are the best.
What are some of your favorites?
So he makes a scallop that's kind of braised, garlicky.
Ooh, yummy.
That's really good. Really good. We were just talking about a second ago. Really good crab rangoon. My wife loves crab rangoon.
Right, good. And I honestly believe that there are some places that they just all have the little 4, squared crab rangoon, and it's kind of whatever you can get anywhere. Yeah. I like some of the crab rangoons that look like dumplings.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's just more cream cheese than what's on the outside. And
yeah, it's really good crab rangoon. The best crab rangoon in town, in my opinion, is Three Happiness. Because they make theirs fresh every day.
Oh, really?
Like if you're in there, you'll see the guy in the back making it every time. Oh, those are really good. But those are the 2 sushi places I would recommend. Yoshitomo, if you want to spend a little bit more money. Umami, really good quality, a little bit cheaper. Won't cost you as much. So 1, 2, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7, 8,
This is
9.
one place.
Right, you're like, yeah,
I go, that's one place because it's the same chef. Let's go with.
I don't know if you can give me too many. Like,
I know I got so many on here. All right, so I can't leave it out. Block 16's got to go on here.
Block 16. What is it?
That's at 16th and Farnham. Block 16 is Paul Urban and Jennifer. Jennifer and Paul, they're married. Wonderful story. They were both chefs working. So they hire these chefs to go down to like the Bahamas or whatever, and then they work at those resorts and they just cook all day. Well, they both were doing it, didn't know each other. They're both working at this thing. So every day they get back on the bus that would take them back to their place where they lived. And they started talking, fell in love, ended up buying when they moved here the old gyro joint on Farnham. What was it? I think it was called Gyros and More, Chicken Gyro, something like that. It was a little joint. They opened that up, worked there for a while, and they wanted to open their own place.
Okay.
So it ended up moving just up the block to block 16, which is literally 16th and Farnham.
Okay.
And if you could get there early enough, get their special. So every day they have a different creative special.
Oh, interesting.
And usually you got to get there pretty early. Usually
when you say early, like what time?
They open at 11.
Okay, so be there like 10:30.
At 11.
Okay.
You get there at 11. Usually by 12:30 it's sold out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's incredible. All their specials are really good. But they also have the best burger in town.
Really?
The Block 16 burger, they have one called the Croquet Garçon. And it was rated by the famous chef. Came through town, had it, called it the best burger in the Midwest. Croquet Garçon. And it has it does have an egg on it, but it's on this really nice bread. It's a delicious burger. It's just a really good burger. It's just perfect. Everything goes together really well. The Block 16 is a must if you're going to come into town.
Okay.
You got to go.
Well, it's interesting because, obviously burgers are always the one that everybody goes, where's the best burger? Uh-huh. Where do you go? So interesting that you. So
you say that. I put together a list. Block 16.
Yeah.
Simple Burger, even though it's new owners out there in Bellevue, Simple Burger is still good. Dinker's is still a good classic greasy burger. Omaha Tap Room, which is right there at I think it's 14th and Douglas. I think that's where it is, 13th or 14th and Douglas.
Yeah. Down
there by the old library. And then Angus Burger, right up the road.
Oh no, that's right up the road for me. And
so they're out of Kearney.
Really?
And we had to go to Kearney for a wedding, and we're looking for a place all to go eat, and we ended up going there, and we're like, wow, this is incredible. And then I talked to the chef. I talked to the chefs. I talked to the chef for a while. Then he called me about a month later and said, hey, we're opening up in Omaha.
Oh, wow.
And we started talking, and we had him on the show a couple times. But yeah, so those are the 5 that I probably would say are my favorites in terms of burgers. But you're right, burgers and pizza are the ones that people debate the most.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and Angus, I think we've tried a lot of the ones on the list. And then their beer selection, and I'm not even a beer drinker.
Is it good?
That wall is huge, but they have adult milkshakes, which are pretty good. And then to me, it's being able to sit outside, enjoy your burger, and just kind of kick back.
Well, it depends on what time of year.
True, definitely not this time.
I loved J. Coco. That was one of my favorite places to eat.
Really? So I went to J. Coco this past
and they're closing.
year.
Yeah, they're closing. She closed. She had to close.
Did she?
They sold the building. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They sold the building. So Jen she's really depressed. Following her on Facebook. It's sad. She's trying to find a new place. She feels like they failed. It's not her fault. But she makes something called steak and frites. Essentially, it's steak and French fries, but it's called fancy steak and frites. Since she's closed, the next best steak and frites, which is one of those meals that I would get for my last meal, is Monarch, which is in Hotel Deco downtown.
Okay.
Used to be Monarch Prime when they were just steaks. Now they have morphed into more of a full-service restaurant.
Okay.
And they make a steak and frites there. And it's a delicious, dry-aged prime filet that is then sliced up. It's marinated, served with these French fries, and there's this little gravy thing that they put over the top of it.
Oh, yummy.
It's delicious. I love J. Coco's.
Do you eat it separately, or you eat it all together?
Together.
Okay.
So it's like French fry meat sauce together. It's like one bite. But that's a place that I would recommend if you're looking for that particular. If you miss J. Coco's steak frites, You go to Monarch and they have it. It's very good there.
No, you said she's thinking about opening up a new place?
She's got to find a new location.
Okay.
Yeah, because they sold the building, which just sucks.
Do you think it was just where they were located at? Because I know parking was at kind of a premium.
Well, she did. They did fine. She even did well during COVID because she had so many takeout orders.
Sure.
It's just that they sold. So that building had J. Coco. It had a comic shop in there, Legends Comic and Coffee, and the coffee shop. And they all have to move now because they just sold the building.
Oh, wow.
You know, this real estate is so valuable right now. I don't know what they're going to build there, but I'm surprised that Gerda's, that building hasn't been sold and done something with yet. Gerda's is right across the street.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Leavenworth.
Used to have the best pan-fried chicken. Gerda passed away a few years ago. She actually made our cake for our wedding.
Aww.
Wonderful, wonderful woman. But she passed away a few years ago, and that place is just sitting there. I don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right.
But matter of fact, that building right next to across the street, the high rise, that's a senior center kind of living.
Senior, yeah.
They start at 55. It's not really a senior place, but
right, because you're like too close to that.
We almost bought an apartment for my mom there. We wanted her to move here, and we thought she didn't want to stay with us. She could stay there.
Right.
And at the time, Gerds was still open. You can go across and get you a pastry or whatever. You go to J. Coco. So yeah, they're still in that building. So she's going to be hopefully. Jen ends up with.
Well, that's good. I'm glad because I think we did J. Coco last year for our anniversary dinner, so I'm glad I squeaked in there before she was.
I went there
closed.
for my 45th and my 47th birthdays, so I really like the place. So my favorite Mexican places are El Dorado.
Okay.
On 24th, off of Q. Copal.
I haven't been to El Dorado. I drive past it all the time.
Yeah, El Dorado is just. They have on Fridays or usually on the weekend they have a seafood tower. Yeah. It's so they'll have like. It's the base is shrimp Alfredo, and then they'll have like these coconut shrimp, and then they'll have like these butterfly fried shrimp things, and then they'll have like fresh boiled peel and eats. It's like a tower. It's incredible, and they'll have like crab legs on. It's incredible.
That's crazy. I haven't. Oh my gosh.
You got to go to El Dorado for that, and then Copal, which is out at 130th and Maple.
Okay.
It's out of Lincoln. They opened an Omaha location. We lived there during the pandemic because you could pick up. It was like a tacos to go.
Okay.
And it came with the meat and all the sides, and it was like $30.
Oh wow!
It was so good, and it fed literally with the rice, the beans, the meat, whatever the meat you chose, the guacamole, all that. It fed all four of us, and we'd have stuff left over.
Right.
I could cook something the next day with it. So that Copal, and then
is Copal with a K?
Copal.
Okay.
And then. Classic Jonesy tacos. You know, I don't live too far from Jonesy's. I've never had fried tacos until I moved to Omaha. It's an Omaha thing.
It is because Maria's is the same way.
Yeah, there's about 5 or 6 different places.
Oh, really?
That do the fried tacos. You know, so does California Taco.
Oh God, I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet.
40th in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it too, but I've never seen them before I came here.
Really?
I'd never seen that. I'd never seen crab rangoon.
Shut the door.
It was nowhere else. I'm telling you, it didn't exist. We, instead of having crab rangoon in New Orleans, we had something called fried wontons.
Yeah.
And they were whole, flat wontons, and in the middle there'd be a shrimp that was fried into it. And it was like, you crack it open.
Right.
We didn't have crab rangoon. And then I came here, and my wife's like, I love crab rangoon. And then we started going places. She's like, this doesn't exist anywhere else. I go, I know that. I'm telling you.
That's interesting. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize. Man, now you're going to make me pay attention as to whether or not you can get it somewhere else.
It's a real place here. Now, more and more places are adding crab rangoon around the country. Right. It's gotten really popular. And not just crab rangoon, but like crab rangoon burgers and hot dogs and all that stuff too. So those are my 3 favorite probably places to go.
So Jonesy's has the fried tacos also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jonesy's at 60th and Woolworth. And we go, that's literally 5 minutes from our house.
Right.
And so we go there quite a bit. Pizza places. My 3 favorites. Brick Oven Pizzeria, which is at 72nd and Jones.
Yes.
So it's by the Furniture Mart.
Yep.
Dwayne is the name of the owner. Great guy. Just the nicest family in general. And they all have the same weird, fast-talking accent. It's not even an accent, but it's like the way their cadence works.
But they're from here?
Yes. Well, originally he's from Milwaukee, I believe.
Okay.
But the way they say, welcome to Brick Oven Pizza, the home of the, and they sound exactly and their son, who now is old enough, I watched him when he was this tall, So old enough, and now he works there and has the exact same cadence too.
Well, he's around mom and dad.
I know.
That's interesting.
So that's that place. And then Frank's, 132nd and Dodge, New York style, Frank's Pizza. And then
I haven't been to Frank's, and that's over by the title company. I'm at all the time, so I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, 132nd. And, so there's a Hy-Vee, I believe, in there. There's a Baker's or one of those two.
Yeah.
I think it's a Hy-Vee.
Is it over by the Dave & Buster's? Or on the other side?
So 132nd and Dodge on the right if you're going west. Right.
Oh, yeah, it's a Hy-Vee. Oh, it's next to the Hy-Vee?
So it's the Hy-Vee's over here, and you come around in the
Frontage Road?
No, you come. It's in the strip mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's in the strip mall, and then the other one would be Paisans, which is 156 in Center.
Yeah.
They do really.
That's over the gyro place.
Yeah, and by the way, I have a list of best gyro places too. But Paisans does the first cream cheese pizza I ever had that I really liked.
Oh, really? Better than Varsity?
Oh, and I like Varsity. I spent a lot of time at Varsity watching football. We used to go there every Sunday. Roman coin pizza.
Right.
Varsity.
Well, that's where I bumped into the guys that knew you because they were talking about the unsportsmanlike conduct, and I was waiting for my Tommy Girl pizza, and we all got into kind of chatting about football and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
He does. Matt Burzaw, former Husker, owns that place, and it's a great balance. He's got a bunch of good. My favorite one is the Dave. Is the Dave pizza. It's really good. It's a combination of a bunch of them, but there's pepperoni on it, there's some sausage on it, there's some cream cheese. It's a really good. It's a really good pizza.
That's at Paisans?
That's Paisans, 156 Center.
So I'm gonna have to try that because we absolutely love the Tommy Girl because it has the ranch and the cream cheese. There's just something about having cream cheese on a pizza that is delicious. Ranch. You don't do ranch?
So I had never. Again, this is another thing. Ranch, where I lived in Louisiana, didn't exist. I swear there was no ranch. I never heard of it, never seen it, never had it. My wife hadn't seen ranch until she went to college because her dad is from St. Paul, Nebraska, where Dorothy Lynch is from.
Right.
So that's all they ever had in their house. They had Dorothy Lynch, they had blue cheese, and then they had some Italian. Nothing else. They never had ranch. So I didn't see ranch until I went to college.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't exist. I know people love ranch. It smells sour to me. Always.
Well, it depends on who does the ranch. Agreed, because depending on the milk that they use in the ranch will depend on whether or not it's a sour or.
The boys
I had
love
one
Runz's.
yesterday that was very.
They love Runz's ranch. That's the boys love Runz's and Amigos ranch.
Yeah, well, you love Runza, so I could see you.
I don't love Runza. That's
not anymore.
I was never a Runza guy. No. That's a joke that Kevin Kugler made up.
Well, yeah, because I saw that post. So, yes, Runza has one of the best. Like, I almost call it restaurant ranch because there's something about restaurant ranch that's 10 times better than what you bring home. And I don't know what that is. So it's however they mix it.
That's what everybody says. I'm sure it's the less preservatives. You don't have to worry about putting the preservatives in it because it's fresh. Yeah. I just don't like the smell or the taste of ranch. But, if you like ranch, from what I understand, Amigos and Runza have the two best.
Gosh, I don't remember Amigos.
Favorite gyro place for me is Fetta's. Fetta's extra spicy gyro is my favorite gyro. It's great.
But it's spicy.
Oh, it's spicy. It's the tzatziki sauce is spicy. The actual gyro meat, they put stuff on that too. It's a spicy one.
Spicy but that's all around. Okay.
It's very, very spicy. Big fan of that. I put down at best ice cream place is 10 Wally's for me. Because of the old school method of the way they make it. Mm-hmm. It's also 20% butterfat, so it's really thick. It's dense. I said, I mentioned Timber for brunches. The other two brunch places are Bailey's.
Oh, yes.
Or 19th Pacific.
Got introduced to Bailey's.
Bailey's.
Really good.
Same guy who owns Bailey's owns Shucks.
Okay.
And then purchased... what was the place in Benson? The old fish and chips place. He purchased that, but then he sold it. Old school. People used to go there all the time from the radio station. They had the fish and chips. Used to be on Dodge, and then they moved on Underwood off of 15th Street. It closed and it reopened. It reopened, yeah.
Dundee Dell?
Dundee Dell, yes. Okay. Yes. So he owns Bailey's. And then the other one is Stokes in the old market and then out west. The Stokes one downtown, one we go to for brunch, and it's very New Mexican. So it's got green chilies and red chilies, and it's my favorite. It's probably my favorite in terms of non-traditional brunches. They have a great breakfast burrito. They have a great huevos rancheros. It's just really good. So those are my three favorite brunch places.
Lots of different stuff, and that's I think some of the fun of like just the myriad of stuff that's here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look.
Where's your favorite place, hands down? Like, you were like, oh my gosh, if I have one place to go.
Wow. Like, it'd probably be Block 16, depending on what special it is. Probably is my favorite. Yoshitomo, if I had the money, I'd be at Yoshitomo every night. Yoshitomo is so good.
What's your favorite sushi? Like, what do you...
Yoshitomo.
No, I know that, but like...
my favorite thing to eat?
What do you go to?
I get whatever the specials he has. I like fresh tuna. Tuna is probably my favorite of the proteins. I'd love to I still like a spider roll because I grew up eating soft shell crab. I grew up eating that in New Orleans, and so I love getting that occasionally. Every time we get sushi, we get a boat. Whether we're at Yoshitomo, which is we don't get a boat there because it's too expensive. But if we go to Umami, we get a boat. We go to Sushi Uchiban, or not called that anymore. It's called Sakurabana, which is off of 76 in Dodge.
Yep.
When we go there, we get a boat. Wherever we go, we end up getting a boat with people we're with. And just
do the boys eat sushi?
My as long as it's not spicy for my oldest. So he likes anything involving tempura, shrimp, or whatever like that.
Okay.
His favorite one probably is the Hawaiian roll because it's just mango and tuna. He likes that. The youngest, usually what we'll do for him is we'll get him like a rice dish.
Sure.
And he'll just eat something off whatever the other part of the menu is. Not a huge sushi fan. But yeah, we just love getting a variety of whatever they have. One of the more creative rolls you'll get is at Sakurabana. They have a menu item that's just 2 pieces of sushi, and they're giant.
Oh, wow.
They're really big. And what do they call it? Goliath? No, that's not right. They have a name for this type of sushi they make. And I think there's only 3 or 4 types. But we get the Godzilla.
Okay.
Which has a red chili sauce on the top of it.
Right,
and it's like a paper, and it's really good. But that's one of the more creative sushi rolls you'll get in town. And then Blue, of course, is good. You're not going to ever go wrong going to a place like Blue.
Oh, yeah. I love getting
Baby Blue.
crab soup at Blue, so that's one of my weaknesses there.
Have you ever gotten the hot rock beef? That's not what it's called. There's a name for it. So they bring these stones out that are really, really hot.
Right.
And then they bring you out this sauteed beef that's raw. And then you cook it on the rocks.
There used to be a place off of 120th and Pacific where Shucks is now, that was a hot rock place. And you used to get like wild meats. Like you could get ostrich and alligator.
Oh, really?
And beef. Oh, yeah. That, granted, this would, because I think we went for our 1-year anniversary there. So that was like 19 years ago. And it was a hot rock because what they did is they had these big pieces of like granite or whatever, and they would put them in a big brick oven. They'd stay super hot, and they would serve it to you in front of you, and you would cook all your stuff. But so it wasn't just beef and chicken. Obviously, you could get beef, chicken, and pork, but we had alligator and ostrich and some wild game things that you could also cook on there, which was what made it so much fun. And then you got your vegetables and stuff that you did also. But I was surprised that it didn't last long. I mean, I guess it's no different than the melting pot. I was really surprised to see.
I knew that wouldn't work.
Why is that?
Because when we left there, we were still hungry.
Oh, we left there. You had to work too hard.
It's just like it just wasn't filling. It just wasn't like. Again, I'm not a huge fan of what's it called? Fondue either. I'm not a melted cheese guy. That's not me. But just when we went done eating, we're like, we're still hungry. We left there. I didn't think that was gonna work. But there's a bunch of Sugi's, SUGI', used to be over at just like 70. What was that? 72nd. Yeah, 72nd and Pacific. That was one of those places where you would go and they'd have the hot thing and you'd cook your meat. Right. That didn't last, and it was great. I love that place. And then there's one, a red. This is 72nd and it's 84th. Yeah, 84th and Center. There's that red room or there's a bar, Red Eye Tavern.
Oh yeah.
Next to that, there's a Chinese food place.
Okay.
That does these hot pots where it comes with the broth and everything in it.
Sure.
And then they give you the stuff to cook it in there.
Oh, interesting.
It's messy as all hell.
Okay, good to
know. But
it's
really good too. That's another one of those places where you're cooking stuff in things.
Oh, that might be fun to try.
Yeah, it's fun to go to.
Right, just at least try it and do something different when you're not looking for the same old.
It's definitely not the same old thing. It's definitely the same old
What do you miss from, being in Louisiana that when you're in the Midwest that you can't get?
Just there's a bunch of stuff. There's this thing called hot sausage. It's called Patton hot sausage. It's only down in Louisiana. It's the only place you can get it. It's horrible for you. It's so bad for you, but it's really spicy, and I always bring a bunch back when I come back. So we have a refrigerator full of it right now. Freezer.
So it's like a sausage. Like
it's a homemade. Or? They do make patties, but it's a homemade link. It comes in a giant bucket. It's called Patton hot sausage. You used to be able to get it shipped before Katrina, but now that you can't even get it shipped anymore. And it's, I mean, like one of the ingredients is grits. I literally
grits in a sausage.
There's grits in there. So one of my when I was having my reception dinner for wedding, I wanted to have like some hot sausage.
Sure.
And I couldn't order it, so I went to the sausage place, 24th and Arbor. Stoisage. I go to Stoisage and I talk to Kenny and I'm like, hey, can you try this? I bought him some. He cooked it. He ate it. I think I can make this because a lot of garlic in it. He goes, it has pork in it. And so he started kind of putting it together and made me some bulk.
Okay.
And it was close. It wasn't the same as Patton's.
Sure.
But that's the thing that I miss. Just getting a muffalata, especially from Central Grocery, which was closed, by the way, when we went.
Aww.
That's one of our traditions is my wife takes the boys over to Cafe Du Monde and they get beignets. I'm not really into sweets. And so I'll go across the street to Central Grocery and get me a half a muffalata. And I eat my half a muffalata while they're eating their beignets. They got a roof damage from the storm. So it was closed. I miss muffalatas. You can make them.
What's in a muffalata?
So muffalata is ham, mortdella, cheese.
What is a mortdella?
It's like a bologna almost.
Okay.
But it's got like these white meat. I don't know. No, I have no idea what's in it.
I was like, you're like, I don't know what's in it.
I have no idea, but it's like a lunch meat.
Okay.
Called mortdella, and then it's and then they have cheese in there, and then they make olive dressing. And the olive dressing, so you make the whole bread, whole, right? That's what they call that bread, the round one.
Right.
And take the top, and you take all of the bread out of there, and you put the olive dressing in there.
Mm.
And then you stack all your meat on the other side, and then you combine it, and then you cut those in half. They're this big.
Holy mackerel.
And they're this high. And so you get a half of it, or you can get a quarter of it. Yeah.
And you can eat that?
I can eat a whole one.
Oh, my good Lord.
But I usually get a half, because, anyway, I don't want to be that obese.
We're not going to make the 191 mark.
I'm not ever going to get back to that again. But yeah, so like that's one of the things I miss. I miss in general the po' boys. Like I left out a place. So do we have 10?
Almost. What do you want to add?
Herb Sant.
Spell it. Herb like H.
Yeah, Herb. And then the second one is S, like Saint with an E on the end. SAINTE. Yeah.
Okay, where's that?
Herb Sant. That's in Xarvin.
Okay.
And it's a Sazerac bar. So
what's that?
It's a type of alcohol they sell down in New Orleans.
Okay.
And the guy who opened it, Ron Samuelson, he was like, I want to make a Sazerac bar. I want a bar that makes these kind of drinks, and maybe I have some snacks. And then what happened was he went down to New Orleans, did some research. We got together and talked about some of the things you could have for snacks. Like you need to have a little muffalata, you need to have a cheese tray with
little
like a Dewey.
Oh my God.
Yeah, a little one, not a big one like that, a little one. And so we started going through this anyway. So we started adding this food to it. Well, it went from being a Sazerac bar to being a restaurant.
Sure.
And talking about a good balcony. It's a great, not balcony, a good patio. And the patio's right there in Exarban. And you got people walking back and forth. And during the summer, it's great. But they have a great charcuterie where they'll have like andouille, homemade andouille, and some other sausages and these cheeses and these different pickles, which is really good. But then they have like a Nola shrimp, which is in New Orleans, there's something called barbecue shrimp. It's not what you think. Like it's not shrimp with barbecue sauce. It's the way you make it on the barbecue.
Okay.
And it's kind of a hot sauce, peel and eat shrimp that we call barbecue shrimp.
Well,
they make a version of it.
You make a big mistake thinking it would be barbecue.
It's not barbecue sauce.
Okay.
They make it and they call it Nola shrimp.
Nola shrimp.
Yeah. They also have they have the muffalata. They have jambalaya. Sometimes they'll have red beans. They're one of the best places to go for New Year's Eve.
Oh.
We went for New Year's Eve a couple years ago, and they had a drink pairing menu. My wife got it. It was not a drink, but each dish that came with a different kind of cocktail. She got through the third one, and she couldn't drink anymore. They're really strong drinks. That's another thing you didn't know about Herb Sant. Really strong drinks, apparently. And at the end, they made this bourbon. It was like a creme brulee kind of thing. and they lit it on fire.
Language, that's my favorite.
And they lit it on fire, and it's this blue fire. It was an amazing dish. But that's a great place to go for New Year's Eve. They go all out. And then during the spring, they'll have crawfish boils. You'll get crawfish from there. They have shrimp boils.
Okay.
So it's a really fun place to go.
So kind of bringing home here.
It is. There's a couple places. Like you have Taste of New Orleans, which is in Benson, which used to be a food truck. Chef Lee, great story. Lived in New Orleans, got displaced by Katrina, ended up in Omaha. Was in Omaha for...
How do you end up in Omaha from New Orleans?
They move people everywhere,
Other than you.
They move people out for Katrina. And he started getting kind of ill. And turned out his kidneys were failing. Happened to be in Omaha, one of the kidney transplants of the world, into the Lead Center, got a new kidney. Wow. Ended up meeting one of the nurses there, ended up falling in love. They have a food truck, but they got rid of the food truck and now they have a brick and mortar, which is right next to Ted and Wally's in Benson. Okay. So that Taste of New Orleans is a good New Orleans place. And then you have Mouth of the South, which has since moved farther out west.
Yeah, it's off of 168th and Center-ish. It's kind of tucked back in that corner.
It'd be nice to be able to get to it, but 178th has been closed.
Yeah, 168th has been closed. But you can't get in now. You can't
go that way. Good. That's good for them. Now, they've been doing well business-wise. He actually, the owner there, Ryan Ernst, he sold part of the ownership to one of the restaurant groups. And so he's still the chef there, but he doesn't have to go through all the other stuff of running it.
Sure.
So he was in Florence. They had the fire.
Oh,
they burned the place down. Then he went to 72nd and Ames, and they just couldn't get staffed. It just was tough. They had closing there, and now they're out there at 168th and Center.
They seem to be doing pretty well.
They are doing really well out there now. It's great. And so talking about a place that has a great brunch. Their brunch is, they have a crab meat Benedict.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But that's Mouth of the South, Shucks, and Herb Sant. And Taste of New Orleans. Those are kind of your 4 New Orleans type places where you pretty good food from there. Yeah. Then there's also I haven't been there yet, but there's a fried chicken and beignet place.
Well, that's an interesting combo.
Out off of I want to say it's like 168th and L. The only reason I saw it was my kids.
168th and Center. Essentially.
You know where there's a VR place, one of those kids' VR places?
Okay.
And I bought one for my son and his friend for his birthday, and I drove out there. I never go out to that area. I drove out there and I drove past the place. And it was like fried chicken and beignets. I'm like, what the hell? Got to come back to that eventually.
Right.
Dropped them off at the VR. Never ended up going there, but I've heard good things. I've read some of the reviews.
So I feel like this needs to be our next. We'll go. I'll take you to lunch. Let's go to the fried chicken.
Fried chicken and beignets place?
Let me get
the address.
Like up the road.
Let me get the address and make sure, because that was one of those places I went to that I did not pay attention to where I was going and just listened to the thing because I had never been out there. So let me see. Excuse me.
Get you out west with us and
let's see. I did not know where I was. I did not know where I was.
See, so I'm surprised. So on have you been to Mula?
Oh yeah, sure.
Love their pineapple salsa.
I like their guacamole plate, which is good. Nothing against them, but they're expensive. Like for tacos, they're expensive taco place.
Yeah,
and I don't.
Agreed. I
and
usually
it's a gourmet
go for
taco.
Like a beverage and the nacho flight or the queso flight, where it's the queso, guacamole, and the pineapple salsa.
Okay.
So just do like chips, salsa, queso, and drinks. Like
we get the guacamole flight, where it's 3 different kinds of guacamole.
Oh, okay.
And it's good. It's just there's so many other places. And again, I love Blackstone. That's kind of our home area. We go there all the time to Blackstone. We just don't go to Mula very often. Like we will go to Sternella's there. Like if you want a really fancy place to go out to eat for a special occasion, Sternella does some of the most creative food. They do one of those what do you call those eggs? That's wrapped in sausage.
An egg wrapped in sausage?
Yeah, it's a type of egg. It's not Boston.
There's some interesting stuff.
Big Way Chicken.
Big Way Chicken.
Mm-hmm. That's the name of it. And up on the side it has chicken and beignets is what it says. But yeah, it's at okay, give me an address. Why wouldn't the address pop up? Restaurant in Omaha. Got really good. People like it. Here we go. Oh, no, I'm way off. It's on 96th Street.
96 and what?
4725 South 96th Street.
So 96 and L?
So I knew it was near L.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's up the road too.
Yeah, and it's right next to that VR place. So that's how I ended up seeing it. But yeah, there's Sternella. What's that egg called? And it's a boiled egg. It's got sausage wrapped around it, and then they grill them.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're very popular now, but they make a great one there. All of their entrees, their specials are really good. But it's a fancy place. Like, it's going to cost you a little bit to go to Sternella.
Right.
But it's worth it. Bless you.
Oh. Well, we went way over our time, but
How much?
you know what?
Oh, wow.
It's okay. You know what was fun is we really came up with a list, and we talked about some places, and we talked about a place which apparently we're going to have to get back together after we go to the chicken and beignets place.
It's a big way.
and talk about chicken and beignets. So, Michael, thanks so much for joining me today. And I'm hungry now. We're going to have to go find some food. With 30 Minutes with the Realtor, I'm Andrea Lane with BHHS. Thanks for joining us.